Oh. Narayana. Hari Om and good evening from Buffalo. There is nothing to fear but fear thoughts. I'm correcting that old proverb because I know more. There's nothing to fear but fear thoughts. If you have a fear thought, you will be afraid. And if you don't have a fear thought, you won't be afraid. This is the vision of the Moha Mudgara course, to think about thoughts. Every shloka, every class, there is an emphasis on vichara, chinta, manana. And I'm sure, as we approach the completion of our course, that you have all changed in your thinking. You have all changed in your thoughts. Would you agree with me? Have you changed? All of you are just staring like this. What do I do? If I say yes, I'm being arrogant. If I say no, I'm being useless. Just do it Indian style. Ambiguous. Last week, we studied how choosing the easy path is not working. Prayas, the path of pleasure, or the easy path, the short-term path, the selfish path, and I can keep on going, is not working. And we try to choose the path of Shreyas, the long-term path, but tamas overcomes us. I see this sometimes when Sheila and I go out to eat, and I see families who bring their kids. One restaurant scene I saw, the son had his headphones on, and the daughter was playing video games. The wife was doing her own thing, and the husband was doing their own thing. They were sitting in the same booth, but I don't know if they were sitting as a family. And I'm sure it's because the parents are tired. And so they give gadgets to distract those kids from asking questions, from being interactive. See how they want to be Shreyas, but the tamas overtakes us and we go through prayas. We do the same thing with recycling, correct? There's a separate box for plastics and a separate box for paper and all of that. Oh, I'm so tired. They'll sort it themselves, right? I pay taxes. That's what the city is supposed to do. See again, Shreyas, but it devolves to prayas. How are those kids going to grow up whose third parent is an iPad? How is our environment going to be when so much of what should be recycled is put in the land? In Niagara Falls, each house is given a compost bin, a big one and a small one, like for the sink. And what is shared is that 60% of what we throw out is actually compostable. But I know I'm culprit of this, that what should be composted, oh, then I have to put them in 2 separate bins. Just put it in the trash. It doesn't work. I am hurting the environment. We are hurting the environment. We have to begin hard work. And we should begin this hard work by releasing some of the identification with this body. Where to begin this path of Shreyas, this long-term path? Release some identification with this body, and it becomes easy when we are committed. When you commit to a certain person, when you commit to a certain project, then you're ready to endure discomfort. But if you're not committed, you're not ready to be uncomfortable. How many of you have ever written the GMAT, the GRE, the LSAT, the MCAT, all of these business tests? They call them standardized tests, but they're just another way of companies making money. I sound so cynical, don't I? Unless you register for one of these tests, you never really study, correct? We talk about studying, but we never really do. But once you sign up that I'm going to pay $150 for this GMAT, then we start to study. It's no different than running 10K or half marathons. Unless we sign up for that, we keep talking about it, but we never do it. So commit. We move on to our shloka 29. And time is of the essence. Acharya Shankara is speaking to this man who has very little time, and Acharya Shankara now has very little time too. So time is of the essence, and he is emphasizing that which is important. This is a summary of what Acharya Shankara's message is to this old man, to all of us. Let's chant. Please repeat after me. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam.
Artham anartham bhavaya nityam.
Nasti tata sukha lesha satyam.
Nasti tata sukha lesha satyam.
Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi.
Putradapi dharma bhajam bhitihi.
Sarvatresha vihita ritihi.
Sarvatresha vihita ritihi.
Bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudamate. We're so desensitized to mudamate now, isn't it? The first time we heard it, oh, mudamate. But now we hear it week after week, desensitized. He's speaking about someone else, right? Artham. Artham means wealth. Artham also means meaning. Anartham. That wealth is actually not wealth. Wealth does not have the meaning that we need. Bhavaya nityam. Think, reflect on this nityam. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. What is the purpose of wealth? I feel the purpose of wealth is the lower parts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There's physiological needs, there's safety needs, maybe some belonging needs, but when it comes to esteem and actualization, wealth cannot bring such meaning. Don't you agree? Bhavaya nityam. We have to reflect on this again and again, punaha, punaha. And this reflection that is constant means we cannot give even a chance for us to think that maybe wealth will bring meaning into our lives. If you open the door to the path of prayers just to crack, soon that door will be blown open. If you make an exception that on days that I fast, I will only eat fruits and fruit salads and fruit smoothies and foods that have the letter F, R, or U, or I, or T, or food, or cigarettes. And then you just keep on going with that exception, correct? You cannot give a chance, bhavaya nityam, to this easy path. And I have a beautiful story episode. Why am I calling it a story? Relating to Karna. Who's Karna? The eldest Pandava, isn't he?
Yeah.
And what is he known to be great in or great for?
Yeah.
Dana. Dana Vira. And all of our Hanuman students, we just studied Vira, correct? Dana Vira is one of them.
Yeah.
See how Karna is not called Mahavira, he's only called Dana Vira. So much connection. One day, Karna was recuperating from training. So they're on their chariots and they're shooting arrows, and he's sitting in the sun getting his vitamin D, right? Vitamin D? And massaging himself with oil. And a bhikshu comes. Bhiksham dehi. Please give me food. Please give me funds. And immediately, remember I asked you if you all changed and you immediately went into stare mode. So in the same way, immediately, Karna picked up this bowl of oil, and he's a prince. Everything is regal. He gave that bowl of oil to that bhikshu. And that bhikshu said, Truly you are Danavira. But Karna, in our tradition, we don't give with our left hand, we give with our right hand. And Karna says, please forgive me, Bhikshu. The reason I gave with my left hand was, by the time it took me to shift the bowl from my left hand to my right hand, I may have changed my mind. Awesome. See how he never gave that chance for the easy path. Lots to learn from these personalities. That's why our itihasas are not symbolic, they are historical. Whether you like it or not, they are. Nasti tataha sukha leshaha satyam. Na asti. There is not tataha, in that sukha lesha, even a trace, even a lingering of sukha. This is satyam. Whatever we are projecting our happiness, sukha, on. See, this word artham, don't just think of it as stocks and gold and land. It is that which we project gives us meaning. Position, we think, gives us meaning. Pleasure, even family, you'll see that coming in the next line. Whatever we project our sukha onto, there is no sukha in that projection. Now think deeply about this second pada, the second quarter. Acharya Shankara is saying there's no happiness. But obviously, he is teaching us that there must be happiness. And if it's not outside, he's saying there's not even a trace outside. Naturally, his guidance is that there is happiness. But it's not in the object, so it has to be in the subject. I'll put this differently, okay? What is the difference between criticism and constructive criticism? In constructive criticism, there's a possibility that you can change to that criticism, correct? But in criticism only, where that word constructive is not there, that message is not there, we're criticizing, but we can't change anything about that. So Acharya Shankara is not criticizing, that's useless, and that's useless, and that's useless. He's only saying that to bring our attention within. You have to see that focus, to bring more focus to another aspect. On that note, upon the completion of our course, we will be sharing with all of you a feedback form. And on this feedback form, please remember my point about constructive criticism. Some aspects cannot be changed. If your constructive criticism is, we want a different acharya, that's not going to happen. So don't write it. You can tell me I should comb my hair like this, or I should speak slower, or whatever you want, but there's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism, okay? There's a difference between saying there's no happiness, there's no happiness, there's no happiness, and there's a difference in looking deeper that there is happiness, it's just not there. And he intensifies this in the third pada. Putradapi, even in one's son, there is no happiness, but even in one's son, bhitihi, there is fear for the dhana bhajam, for the one who has this wealth. Okay, let me piece this together some more. See, the shloka began saying, the meaning we need is not in wealth. Now in the second line, the meaning we need is not even in a child, family member, friend. For those who know the etymology of the word putra, it doesn't just mean son. The etymology of the word putra means the one who saves you from hell. The naraka, literally. The idea being is that your parents gave you so much, and if you don't share that, then someone who is greedy is someone who's in hell here. Now, please remember never to take such messages about family, marriage, etc. literally only. What if you choose not to have children? What if you can't have children? What if you adopt? What if you look after Balabara students? See, the point is, that what you've been gifted to share that. That's why a son saves one from hell, because a son encourages sharing. But so does a daughter, so does a niece, so does a nephew, so does an animal. Whatever is encouraging us to share. So not just artha, but putra is shared here too. And dhana bhajam, for the person who has physical wealth, they're afraid of that same son. They're afraid of that same son. I was reading in a magazine, Maclean's. I don't know if they have Maclean's in the States. In Canada, we have a magazine called Maclean's. And they're sharing that right now, in this period of time, we'll see the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of humanity. Because all of those people who worked very hard and earned a lot of wealth, they're all getting older and are going to die. And that wealth will be transferred to all of the people who don't work as hard. And in this article, they were sharing that how some kids are waiting for their parents to die because they're following the path of Preya. Bhiti. I know families where a parent and a child will not fly on the same plane in case that plane crashes. Right? You can't enjoy going on a plane ride with a family member, with a friend. Bhiti, that fear comes because I think that this wealth can provide me security, but that wealth is not going to provide you security. Your child is not going to provide you security. There is no security other than God and or self. Because everything else changes. And that's why you'll pick up on words in the shloka like asti, satyam, nityam. Did you catch all those words? Okay. And finally, in the last pada, Acharya Shankara says, sarvatresha. In all places. This is vihita. This is a governance. This is ritihi. This is a law. What Acharya Shankara has just shared, he says, applies in all places. So it applies in Niagara Falls and Cleveland and Columbus. It definitely applies to Tampa and New York and so on and so forth. Now, Sarvatresha, now we're thinking this happened in Varanasi and here we are in Buffalo. All places also means all times. You know how old this text is? 1,500 years ago. This was written 1,500 years ago. Is it still relevant? And if you say no, you're not relevant. This is more relevant than you are. This is utterly relevant. And that's why it's vihita, ritihi. This is not a theory. This is the law. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam. What were the last two words? I forgot. Oh, Mudamate. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. Independence is joy. And joy is independence. That's what this shloka is teaching. Independence is joy. Independence from wealth, independence from family, independence from vices. That is joy. And if you're joyous, you don't find meaning or dependency on wealth, family, the mind. That there is advaita, there is oneness. Have faith in this instruction manual. This instruction manual, we're getting to the last sections of this. Have faith. Think about the years or decades that you've been alive. And this instruction manual is teaching us how to live. Have faith. Narayana.